Today, we're going to be doing a tarot reading to help you figure out what negative mindset could be holding you back. We all have those moments where we feel stuck, like we're not making any progress. You might be feeling frustrated, angry, maybe even hopeless. But what if there's something deeper going on? What if there's a negative mindset that's sabotaging your efforts? So, in this reading, we're going to use the tarot to help you uncover that mindset. I'm going to encourage you to think about a specific situation that you're currently facing. It could be something at work, it could be something at home. This will help focus your energy to get the most out of this reading. We'll be drawing 3 cards, and you'll be able to pick the one that resonates with you the most. Once you've chosen your card, you can jump to the corresponding timestamp below to get the best possible advice. Always remember, tap into your instincts, trust your intuition. This reading is meant to be a tool for self reflection, but it is not a definitive answer. It's just here to help you gain some valuable insight into your own mindset. I hope this reading helps you overcome whatever negative mindset that could be holding you back. And if you enjoy this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Let's jump into your reading. Welcome. So if you pick card number 1, we have the birthday corpse. It sounds like whoever it is we're going to be talking to today, I have this sort of a declaration to the universe as though if you can't figure something out within the next year or by your next birthday, all could be lost. I'm getting this sort of, I'm feeling into this eternal damnation, and I will say it is a little bit hyperbole, but I suspect you are aware of this. So I've already gone ahead and pre-shuffled your cards, and before I go to cut at the base, I got the card of glow up, new opportunities. I feel like you're in this situation where you want to start growing your business, maybe changing up some things within your career, and make more money. Who doesn't want that? But we also have 7 of Cups. There's a lot of this emotional confusion because there are a lot of options out there. And I think some of you are a little bit worried that you could be tricked or in some ways arm wrestled into making a very bad decision. This energy feels very cautious. But after I go to cut the card of laughter and the Queen of Coins. Like, you want to more than likely be a very generous person with your time, your energy, your money, and more than likely you're trying to create a workplace situation that's more uplifting and more upbeat. But before I start picking some cards, right off the bat, I feel like as though there's a lot of masking. You're trying to smile a lot, trying to get through the next day, but I feel like there's a little bit of avoidance going on. But let's get an overview. What's the fixed mindset that you're struggling with the most at the moment? Recharge, 6 of Swords, clear your mind. Oh, you guys are more than likely just desperate to take a break. Well, I joke saying this could be something at your next birthday. I'm making a little bit of a joke as though you're waiting until your next birthday or creating some deadline. And I think it's one of these things where you're trying to make a goal for yourself, but you're turning your goal into a little bit of a minefield. You are aware that you do need to take a break, but you're stuck in this middle point where I need to take a break. But if I take a break, all could be lost. And it's this fear because we see this mother trying to take a kiddo across the water. You're trying to get onto calmer waters, but it feels as though it's constantly choppy. What's your negative self-talk? Because it's really important to understand what script you're saying to yourself in the back of your mind. And sometimes we call it the personal accountability monster, but it's not always helpful. And I will say for anybody who struggles with that internal accountability, be aware that sometimes being mean to yourself as a way of making sure that no one could be meaner to you, that isn't the solution that you're looking for. But what is your negative self-talk right now? Karmics and the Magician, third parties, haters, lessons learned. Mm, like, I think you guys are just worried that something from your past could repeat all over again. A lot of you sound like you're trying to You're trying to get to the next level. You're trying to provide for your family. If you're a boss, trying to create a good experience for the people around you, or maybe if this is a relationship, trying to be a good partner, to be a good parent. I feel like you've convinced yourself that a bad thing could happen all over again. And here's the thing, you're not wrong. You actually are very self-aware, which is a really good thing. But it's one of these situations where I am a Murphy, and if anything can go wrong, it will. And there's something within your fixed mindset that has decided something bad is going to go wrong. It comes back to, you need to recharge, you need to sort of start off with a clean slate. You're struggling with people from the past who you've had arguments with, and you're using their voice to be a source of accountability. There it is. I understand why you're having a difficult time navigating this negative mindset. You're trying to do the right thing. But how has this negative self-talk impacted your sense of self-worth? We got chaos in the star. If you keep trying to constantly berate yourself, correct yourself, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm going to have to try a little bit harder next time to be less of an idiot. Oh my God, what a fucking idiot. Well, you just said idiot 3 times. Now, I'm using a lot of hyperbole right here to try and carve out a picture for you. And this is difficult because there's a version of you that does not believe you can change. I have this feeling like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But who told you that? Because I actually don't think that this is your energy. You have this cloud around your head that's distorting your sense of self. There's somebody at one point or another that made you feel pretty bad about yourself. And maybe you made an honest mistake. And you never wanted to make that mistake ever again. Why? Because you like to think that you're a good, kind person. You'd like to think that you can own up to your responsibilities. But in the process, it's sort of as though you're wishing for bad things to happen to you in order to keep you humble. Damn. Okay. Okay. How is this impacting your reality? Sort of your 3D situation. We got narcissist and 10 of swords. Yikes. It's sort of like a game of whack-a-mole in this fixed mindset. You decide, okay, I'm done with this person. I'm done with this situation. You remove them from your life. You know you've done the right thing. And it's as though the same type of personality comes back in, and then you have to start all over again. This is sort of the feedback loop that the negative mindset has put you through, making you believe that even if you tried to be accountable, even if you tried to take a break, even if you tried something different, it wouldn't matter because you'd still magnetize the same jerks into your life. What would your higher self say to you that's a little bit more constructive? Isolation, Queen of Swords. You're being encouraged at this time to really take that intention to rest, to relax, to take some time for yourself. You're arguing with yourself. You know you need a break. You know you need a fresh perspective. You're being encouraged at this time to go at it alone. Maybe not have as many people involved within your decision making. There are professionals out there that can always guide you. And I think a few of you might even have relationships with spiritual leaders, religious leaders who could help offer you some guidance from within. Let's ask the crows as well for a little bit deeper guidance. I've already pre-shuffled, but I do have the card of wrath, and underneath there, we do have release. Try not to avoid difficult conversations, but also make sure you're not reliving difficult conversations from the past. The past has already happened. You can't go back in time and fix it. You've been in survival mode for such a long time, trying to defend yourself against a person, a situation, something that was really awful. It could have impacted you even as far as childhood. But that energy from your past is causing resistance. You're being guided to just take in the moment. Where are you as you listen to this message? Who are you as you listen to this message? What is it that you do have readily and available to you? Do you have a family that you can count on? Do you have a job that you enjoy? And a lot of you guys are going to say yes, and many more of you are going to say no. But do you have control over your mindset? Because if you want to develop a growth mindset, it's recognizing that people see the world very differently. People with a growth mindset believe that the more effort they put into something, whether if it's practical or learning, the better they will become. And if they're not good at something, they see it as a sign that they can work harder at it. They have little need to prove that they are talented or intelligent. Instead, they're on a never ending quest for constant growth. You're being encouraged to enjoy the challenges ahead, not to fight against the demons of your past. As you are able to cultivate a growth mindset, recognizing that using other people's mean words as a source of personal accountability isn't healthy, nor does it contribute to your growth, and recognize that if you're able to get into your own energy, and asking yourself and your higher consciousness what is you truly need through rest, through relaxation. What's your potential final outcome? Love affair and the high priestess. There's a really amazing incoming relationship. For some of you, this will be a literal romantic relationship. Others of you will actually find ways to communicate better with your partners, with your family members, even employees and just the people around you. A lot of you have been avoiding some important conversations. But if you just recognize that you're the only one holding yourself back and that you are allowed to speak your mind, especially if you're able to find that sense of calm, you're going to be able to finally magnetize a healthy relationship. One where you will be able to communicate with this individual or communicate with these people as though it was telepathic. You'll find people who are on the same wavelength as you, and even if you still have to work hard at becoming the best possible human being you desire to be, you'll still be able to find people around you who are going to get you. I'm just saying. Wow. Thank you so much for sticking around. If this was helpful, please let me know by liking, send me a comment below, and I'll see you guys at the next one. And until then, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries. Welcome. So if you're here, more than likely you have picked card number two, and we got the shitty acoustic guitar guy. I love this deck. No, whoever you are, I feel as though you could be struggling, as though you have some attachment in the 3D world. And, considering I do see this axe with this ball and chain, there's a sense of freedom that you desire, but it's as though your fixed mindset has told you that you need to stay where it is that you are. And I feel like you're trying to make the most of your situation, but a few of you guys feel as though you're not where it is you're supposed to be. And there's a little bit of a stereotype that I'm feeling into as I'm just riffing on your energy, that you can't even have the time to work on your hobbies. But i- if you get a chance to work on your hobbies, at least things won't be so bad. So let's dive into the tarot. I have already pre-shuffled your energy, and before I go to cut, I got the card of sipping and eight of cups. There's this feeling like you're tired of superficial relationships. I feel like there's a real need to go a little bit deeper after I go to cut two-faced Seven of Cups, double life cheater, backstabber. Um, and it's sort of like I often say, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think you're worried that you are going to be the cheater or that you could be the backstabber. I There's a lot of lockup that I feel within your energy, and given that I do have the 7 of cups, you have a lot of choices, and for some of you this may not be literal, but it's sort of like you're in a marriage that you're not necessarily super thrilled about, and you know there could be other options out there, and it's not necessarily like you could go out and cheat. It's just that you see better examples out there in the world. It's like you've seen the best example of what your life could be and the worst example of what your life could be. But I really have to call you out right off the bat. I feel like you're trying to live somebody else's reality rather than embodying your own. So let's get kind of an overview of your fixed mindset. Drowning, over your head, overextended rock bottom, 5 of swords. Like, it feels like you are really in the weeds on wherever it is that you are within your life, and it's as though you believe, "Well, this is my choice. This is what I've already made the choice. I want to be there for the people that I love and care about, even if they kind of annoy me, they don't communicate with me, maybe they backstab me." And it's difficult because, it's like, go away, but don't leave me. Go away, I won't leave you. So there's a lot of this sort of back and forth and inconsistent, and it's challenging with your energy because it's not even so much that you have a fixed mindset, it's a negative backlog. And again, you keep over identifying with other people's energies, other people's ideas on who it is you should be, but you're not being the person who it is that you desire. And then you constantly repeat this inward dialogue. What is the negative self-talk that you're saying to yourself? Exhausted, Queen of Wands, like you're burned out. And it is important to acknowledge that you are struggling with the burnout, especially if you feel like you're really in over your head. And I think a few of you are actually sabotaging really good opportunities because the opportunity comes up, "Oh, I don't have enough money." Another opportunity comes up, "Oh, I'm not hot enough for them." Another opportunity comes up, "Well, I need more education." You build yourself up and then you knock yourself down, and this again, this back and forth, this roller coaster of trying to really force your energy up here, and then it gets you exhausted again. It's as though you're constantly walking uphill, and you don't need to take on such a steep incline is sort of what I'm hearing. How is this negative self-talk impacting your sense of self-worth? Oh, lust, 3 of coins. Like, I'm sorry, this is d- take it take this as an analogy. This doesn't necessarily have to be literal for all of you, but it's sort of as though if you've been in a marriage for a couple of decades and you've lost the spice of life, that you suggest, well, maybe we should have an open marriage, or maybe the other person decided to say we should have an open marriage, and it's kind of like, did you really want this in the first place? A few of you have agreed to certain things within your relationships that, well, if it makes you happy, who am I to say no to what it is that you want and desire? But right off the bat, you've accidentally gave away your power. There was a decision that you made at some point, all in the name of working together, working things out, trying to be a collaborative partner, and I feel like something's just gone straight over the end. Like, you did not expect things to get this much worse, and it's challenging because there's something at the root of this negative mindset that needs to be tackled before you can move forward. There's a reason why you're constantly revving uphill and losing a ton of gas. Some of you, this could be literal. How is this negative self-talk impacting your reality around you? Oh dear God, burned bridges, Seven of Swords. Oh man. Oh, it's this feeling as though you feel like you can't go back. Like I joke saying you can't go back in time, and you can't, like unless you're Doctor Who with a TARDIS. But there's something that I feel like you agreed to quite a while ago, and there's an ask within here, even though we're technically not within your advice. A decision you made a long time ago was not actually something you really truly wanted. And it's making you feel like you can't go back on your promise. No takesy backsies. This has a lot of marriage energy to it. And again, it doesn't have to be literal marriage. It can just be a contract between two people, a business contract, a friendship agreement, actual marriage, even buying a house. Because whatever commitment that you made, it's giving you the sense as though you can't go back. But because you're stuck and you're exhausted, there's something deep within you that's craving change, that's craving something different. You want to personally grow. There's no problem with exploring your hobbies. Hobbies are a lovely outlet for us to explore our creativity, to challenge us and to help us to grow. And if you've started with a hobby or you've had one that you've cultivated over the years, continue pouring your energy into that, but your hobbies are actually trying to inform you of something, and it's your higher self trying to give you a few clues on how you could move forward in this situation. What would your higher self want you to know right now to help you transmute your negative self-talk? Puzzled Queen of Cups. If you really don't want me, if you really don't need me, then who do you? Like, there are people around you that you absolutely love and adore. And I really feel this sense from your higher self. There is something and someone that you do truly love. And it's okay to love the people around you. If you're married, to love your spouse, to have love for your coworkers, even if you don't always see eye to eye, love for your passion projects. But you're not working on that love towards yourself. What would the Urban Crow Oracle want to say to you to help encourage you? And in some ways, puzzle out your sense of self-love. You've given a lot of yourself to your external situations, and there's nothing wrong with being giving, but you're not getting a return on your investment. And, how dare I say that money and love are involved? But if I am saying that, it means that you're actually stuck in a transactional relationship. And even businesses update their terms and agreements every year. And there's something about you being able to use the energy from your personal projects, your personal pursuits to help and first of all encourage you to put you into that positive energy that makes you feel like yourself, that makes you feel good in your body, that makes you feel as though you have something to offer the world, but your inability to be receptive to love, to praise, to adoration is one of your holdbacks. We got the card of scavenge. You're inadvertently just taking the lowest hanging fruit. And this is a self-worth issue. No judgment. But if you don't have any love and adoration for yourself, no matter where you go, in your marriages, in your friendships, with your, for some of you, your myriad of lovers. There's only so much that they will be able to help you feel loved from within. Love is an inside job, and it should be something that we cultivate from within and then we present to the rest of the world. But you've lost that inner light. Got the card of battle, and at the top over here, isolation. You're really struggling with being conflict avoidant, and that's okay. You're being encouraged right now to take a step back from whatever it is that you're feeling intimidated by, whatever it is that you feel obligated to, committed to. There's some decision that you made within the past that's being brought back up to the surface because you need to have an honest conversation about it. You're afraid that if you speak up, you speak your mind, that it'll leave you alone, that it will leave you isolated. And I will say, card number one had a very similar feeling to it. And if you were kind of maybe curious about card one, I do encourage you to go check out that particular reading. But I would say that you have a fear of being alone. And it's the lie that if you stay attached to a mediocre situation, it's better to have a mediocre life with somebody than to risk being at it alone. This is a pretty dark, deep reading, but if it's coming out, it means that a few of you are in a position where you know you need to start facing the demon, facing the monster. And this is one of those moments I would encourage you, if you do need some serious support on your spiritual journey, do make sure to subscribe to this channel so that I can kind of keep tabs on you and help you work through this, because this is a lifelong habit that needs to be looked at. And this is not something you can do overnight. As you are able to acknowledge the shadow from within. Acknowledge the decisions that a past version of yourself made. Recognizing that you do have gifts and that you are talented, and those pursuits are informing you to help you grow into the person that you secretly desire to be. How are you going to feel at the end of all of this? Mask, Two of Cups, hiding, concealing, and deception. I feel like don't allow this image of masked to discourage you. This is an unveiling. There's a deep, profound love, even with the people around you, even with the people that you feel attached and committed to. Some of these individuals, you've never actually had an honest conversation with them. If you've been avoiding a conversation because you're worried how they will react, well, it's still important for you to seek out help in order to manage your own emotions and to manage your own expectations moving forward. You are somebody, I would encourage you, if you do have access to resources for therapy, I highly recommend it. I also do personal coaching as well. You can see some services in the links below. But regardless, I feel like you do have this amazing relationship incoming, and this could really help unveil the person who it is that you want. Keep an eye out. Just remember that people only know you as well as you're able to share with them. And there's some secrets that you have been keeping, but it's going to be important for now, just for now. Write some things down and acknowledge the secrets to yourself. If you're worried about somebody reading it, you can crumple it up, throw it away if that's what you need to do. But it's a very important exercise for you to start writing your thoughts down. Get it onto paper. Be honest with yourself. Because when you're honest with yourself, you'll be able to find honesty with all the people around you. Those who you have platonic relationships with, those that you have committed relationships to, and those that you feel romantic towards. I'm just saying, wow. Well, Whoever it is that you are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. Thank you so much for powering through this difficult reading and for sticking around. If this resonated with you, please make sure to like the video on the way out. And if you haven't yet, but you're kind of curious about the next message, I highly recommend that you subscribe. Welcome. If you're here, you probably have been magnetized to card number 3, and right here we have little Pablo. I feel as though you've been trying to toot your own horn, trying to create some transformation within the world. Your energy feels very well intended. But when I went to go pre-shuffle and see what it is that those of you who need some advice from card number 3, when I went to go shuffle, what's the vibe? I had an entire stack of cards fall out. So we have antisocial, along with established, as well as intimacy, unity, closeness. I feel as though whoever it is that I'm going to be talking to today, you're trying to make a difference within the world, whether if that is through your workplace, trying to make a positive impact as a parent, as a partner. And I feel as though you're trying to find a sense of closeness. It, it's really nice to think that you could go to work, be able to have some camaraderie with the people around you, have sense of mutual respect and a sense of belonging. But when I looked at the base of the deck, I got the card of suffering in silence. And that's all I hear is silence. Your energy feels a little bit stuck. In some ways, it's not even negative mindset. It's as though it's a stuck mindset. So I'm going to be stammering through your energy mostly because I feel like you are trying to be in the now moment, for which good for you. It is very important that at any point within time, we just try to take in the now moment. We try to make the most of it, but there's something about the way that you're perceiving being in the now. There's something in there that I think it's sort of like it could be better. So we'll dive a little bit deeper here in a second. Before I go to cut, I do the Empress, but let's have a sneak peek under here. We do a 5 of Wands. Maybe maybe you have been a little bit of a troublemaker, or even worse off, people could have perceived you as being a little bit of a troublemaker. Now, since the this deck broke apart on me, I'm not going to cut it, but I am going to cut this deck and we'll dive into your energy. Like, I feel as though you're trying to keep it together. You are trying to put on a brave face, especially if you're going through a brand new beginning. But we do have the card of the devil, and it's so unusual. I feel like you are a little bit of a magnet for trouble. That's not even a criticism. I feel like that's part of your mystique. But let's have a look at the overview of your fixed negative mindset. What's going on over here? Cutting ties, freedom, standing up, awakening, 9 of Cups. There's this mentality as though you cannot have nice things. It's as though you're kind of okay with being broke, kind of okay with just having enough. It's a feeling as though you're okay with the mediocre. Interesting. What is this negative self-talk script, if any at all? Like, your energy is actually very quiet. I hear the word poignant. You feel like the strong and silent type. Feminine energy. 4 of Coins. Okay, okay. Like, this has a little bit to do with the Empress we saw a little bit earlier. I really feel like you are somebody who is tuned in to your feminine energy, and it might be a little bit challenging, especially say if you're male identifying. There's an aspect of your own personality that you feel as though you need to withdraw it, as though you need to budget it, as though you don't quite have enough love and nurturance to go around. This also could manifest like somebody else is not compensating you for stepping up, showing care and consideration. I just keep getting the sense of equal partnership in order to create something together. How is this self-talk impacting your sense of self-worth? Thrills, along with the card of strength. Okay, this is why I am having such a hard time reading into your energy. There's a part of you that is trying to subconsciously shut down your feminine energy. I feel like you got into the wrong crowd at some point. It's sort of like the person where if you were a partier at some point within your life, you wanted to invite everybody over, but you provided all the booze, you provided all the drugs, you provided all the entertainment. And people, they showed up and they had a great time, but when they left, they went home. You still had a big, huge mess that you had to clean up afterwards, and probably an even in even being in debt afterwards. It's like you know you can't buy friendship, but you keep indulging in it no matter what. Interesting. I really hope this reading is making sense to you guys. How is this self-talk impacting your reality around you? Because that last one, it felt like it was all external. So that's interesting. Consequences, bad choices, Five of Cups. Okay. It's sort of like you know what you're doing is going to lead to a hangover. You know what you're doing is going to cost you the next day, but you still do it anyways. I'm getting a little bit of this sort of don't give in to peer pressure, but at the same time, you just don't give a fuck. You just, it's just sort of as though this is the live in the now where it gets toxic. And it's like, in the now, right now, I'm just going to be drunk. And right now, I'm going to be high. Right now, I'm just not going to think about things. Some of you may have struggled with a distorted motherly figure. Maybe there was some emotional neglect within the home. And it's making you think that it's okay to make bad decisions in this moment. Whew, it's taking me a while to get into here. It's making you feel as though you have to make bad decisions in this moment, but not considering the consequences the next day. Um, your desire to live in the moment has actually become toxic because you're having a difficult time wanting to think about a better future for yourself. This could be called anticipatory anxiety, because if you think about tomorrow, you think about next week, you'd rather just not think about it because if you actually took the time to think about what your life could be next week, you don't like what it is that you see, so you ignore it. Even though I'm talking about the future, it sounds like there's something within your past that's really bogging down your current thought process because you're stuck in this mentality of being almost like in a coma. There's a reason why I'm having a very difficult time reading your energy. And I think for some of you, this isn't a criticism or meant to be mean. You may be trying on other people's personalities just so that you can feel as though you fit in. It is a type of masking. And it's difficult because you don't want to embrace your wonderful self because if it's a lie. It's this lie that if you embrace your true self, you know that there's some consequences that you have to own up to, and that makes you feel sad. Um, it sounds like you are somebody who is struggling with some semblance of addiction, and this doesn't necessarily have to be, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. People can have addictions to buying shoes. Other people can have addictions reading politics all of the time. Others could have addiction of constantly going into some kind of market portfolio and penny trading or gambling. There's there's a warning within here that you are ignoring some emotions that would make you feel very sad. You are also somebody I would recommend if you do have some semblance of access to therapy, take advantage of that. I think some of you have been trying to manifest a little bit of help in your life. There's a reason why this reading has been coming out is because secretly deep down inside, you want to be able to seek out the help in order to move forward because you're sort of at this impasse within your life that if you continue to behave the way that you do, you could lose a job, you could lose money, you could have some even more dire consequences. And your higher self is really trying to get a hold of you to let you know there are solutions to your problems. What would your higher self say to you now to help you transmute your current mindset? Soulmate, Ace of Wands, twin flame friendship, romantic partner. There's one consistent theme I've come across all of the picket cards. Everybody is destined to be meeting a brand new soulmate. Now, soulmate does not necessarily mean a romantic partner, especially for those of you who are in an established relationship and you'd like to continue cultivating that friendship or relationship. But I feel like you're going to be magnetizing a study buddy. The universe is sending you help, someone to help you invest into your creativity in some ways to help you get your mojo back. Whatever negative mindset that is suppressing your feelings, there is going to be a need for expression. Note the paintbrush right here. This is about getting pen to paper. This is finding ways to express yourself just to yourself. Some people can use art to express their emotions all over the world, and then they get angry that nobody pays attention to them. But I think for you, you need to start keeping a journal. And there's something about writing a letter to yourself on a daily basis and trying to be kind to yourself. Considering I have some of this distorted feminine energy, and maybe you never had a great example of optimal feminine nurturance, especially for those of you who didn't have a great relationship with your own mothers. There's an ask within here. Can you be your own mom? Instead of BYOB, bring your own booze. Can you be your own mom and not feel super weird about it? Let's get the Urban Crow to help dive deeper into this because again, there's something about your natural gifts, your natural talents, getting out of being a survivor. There's a fear of isolation. If you actually tried being yourself, there could be a sense of loss. Let me, wrath, there we go. Just because somebody else didn't appreciate you for the beautiful, amazing, kind, thoughtful person that you are, it doesn't mean you need to actually be hard on yourself. Your journey is nothing unique, but it is part of your own personal journey. For you, there's actually a really amazing story that you are living in the moment with. There's looking at your life in this moment, and there's looking at your life in hindsight, especially if you were displaced, if you were neglected. Just because it happened to you when you were younger, it doesn't mean you need to embody it in the now. Start writing those kind letters to yourself. Try to get to know your own feminine energy. Just because you had a bad example in your youth doesn't mean you need to continue the trend. Part of your own personal story and your soul purpose is to break a generational pattern and to know that regardless of however it is you were brought into this world, how you can embody this journey. Because you are more than likely going to be magnetizing some soulmates into your future, people who do need to hear your story, but you can't tell your story to anybody else until you have found healing from within. As you're able to embody a personal sense of healthy accountability, recognizing that just because the past wasn't kind to you doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to show compassion to yourself within the now. How are you going to feel if you're able to embody this? Smell the roses, 5 of coins. This is a little bit of that isolation that I was sensing earlier with the crows. Being out on your own isn't a sin. And just because somebody neglected you, threw you out of their life, That has nothing to do with your own sense of worth. That was their problem. They were the ones who made some poor choices. But it doesn't mean that you have to repeat the same choice that they did. You are an individual on your own individual journey. When you're able to get out on your own, to be in your own energy, practice being yourself, it'll help slow your mind, take in the moment, get to know yourself, get to know your talents, get to know your own sense of belonging within the world. To get to know yourself and to take care of yourself isn't selfish whatsoever. Take some time for yourself. Get out into nature. Go to a place that you find special. Just take a few minutes for yourself every day to meditate, to embrace a little bit of calm, be able to face the silence. Your higher self is calling out to you, and there's a lot of wisdom and creativity that you're going to be able to find within there. I'm just saying, wow. Well, whoever it is that you are, damn. I sincerely hope that this helped. Congratulations for making through this reading. This was not easy to work through, but if you found this helpful, please make sure to like the video. Let me know below how this might have resonated. And I do recommend that if you'd like some more support on your spiritual journey, you ought to subscribe. And until I see you at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries. Bye.